Welcome back. Now in this video we will just be working right on the input field. As you guys know already, right in the widget, as you guys can see the directory, open that, and here you guys can see the rounded input field. We're going to use that right in the body of our sign up screen. So let's go ahead and start working on that. So below this form, in here, first we will create a size box. So there's going to be some height between the profile and the input field that we are about to use. So in here first we'll have that size box. In here, height, and then we say screen height multiplied it, and we're gonna take 0.2% of the screen, and we're gonna take 0.02% of the screen. That is fine. In here added and comma, then tag this down, then we say rounded input field. As you guys can see the suggestion right down in here. So it's going to take the hint text, and on change event, for now we're gonna just remove that and write it in here comma first, and then take this down. In here let's provide the hint text, we're first gonna create it for the email. So in here string first, and then we say email. Here's gonna be the hint text, and then let's provide the icon. We'll go with the icons dot person. You can go whatever you want right in here. I'll go with this one, that first one. That is fine. And now you want change event. In here we'll say value, and in here remove that comma, curly braces, tag this down, and in here first let me just check the email controller. So we're going to create some controllers, like for example for email, name, and also the phone number, because we are creating that input field down below. So in here below this sign up form key, in here first we'll say final key, and then we say text editing controller, and the first one that we will create, it is going to be simply for the name, and we're going to make that private. So in here underscore with the name controller. That is fine. Now let's just assign the text editing controller. That is fine right in here. Now we're going to simply, for the time saving, we'll copy that, and below down in here we will paste it for the email one, also for the phone, and also for the password. Okay, so let's just rename this. This is going to be simply for the email, and that one gonna be simply for the password that we will create, and that one gonna be simply for the phone. Okay, so we are done with the controllers, as you guys can see in here. Now let's go down and we will use that one by one. In here, as you guys can see, that rounded input field, we created that for email, but what I'll do, I'll just change this for the name, because we're gonna first get the name. Okay, so in here the hint text will be name, and also we will change that icon, or I think that icon is fine, the person, because we're gonna simply get that for the name. And now in the on change, what I'll do, I'll just simply have the controller, the name one. Okay, because we are creating that for the name, and you guys can see the hint text already. So in here dot text, and then we say value that we just created a while ago, write it and semicolon. So whenever the user will enter their name, it is going to be right in here in this value, okay, right in on change. So the name will be right in here, and then we just assign that name, which will be right inside this value, to this name controller dot tags. Then it's going to be right in the name controller, okay. So it's going to assign that name, which will be in the value, gonna assign it to the name controller dot tags. That's all the working for this rounded input field for name. Now I have already how to load the app. If you guys didn't how to load the app, first do that from here, just how to load the app. So now I'll just press the Control S, and you guys will notice that rounded input field for the name one, okay. Control S, there we go. As you guys can see right in here, that rounded input field with a name and icon, and you guys can see that input field with a beautiful design, okay. There we go. Now simply click in here and you can put your name in there, okay, like that. It's working fine. Now let's take this down from here, and what I'll do, we will create another rounded input field. It's going to be simply down below in here, and it's going to be for email. So what I'll do, I'll just simply copy that rounded input field from here to here, copy it, and down below this rounded input field in here, paste it. And this time we're gonna just change that syntax to the email, as you guys know already, okay. And the icon gonna be person, that is fine, and on change, that is fine. Also we will just change that controller, just remove the name from here and write email. As you guys can see, the suggestion, or you can manually write it like that, okay. Email controller dot tags. So whenever the user will enter their email, it's going to be right inside this value, okay. It's going to be right inside that, right on the on changed. And then email, which will be right inside the value, we're gonna assign that email right to this controller, email controller dot tags. So that's all the working for that email one. Now just press the Control S, and you guys will notice the rounded input field for email one. Control S, and boom, there we go, okay. As you guys can see, in tags, icon, and the input field. Click in here, and now you can just enter your email or whatever you want in here in this email input field. That is fine. Now let's go further, copy this from here to here and paste it down in here. This time we're going to simply create this for the phone number or cell number in tags, and we're gonna change that icon to the phone one, okay. You can also see the suggestion, there we go, okay. You can choose whatever you want in here. I'll go with the first one, all just good. And we're going to change that controller, it's going to be simply the phone controller. That is fine. Now whenever the user will enter their cell number, it's going to be right inside that value. It's going to assign that to this value, that is going to be right on changed. And then we just assign that cell phone number, which will be right inside this value. We will assign that to this controller dot tags for phone. So now just press the Control S, and you guys will notice the rounded input field for the phone one. Control S, and boom, there we go, okay. Phone number with the icon and input field. In here you can just enter your cell number, whatever you want. Working fine. Now let's move further, and we will create it also another, and it's going to be simply for the password field, okay, as I showed you already that one, okay, right in the widgets. So let's go back to this body.dart, okay, for the sign up screen. Just don't confuse in that. We are here on this specific page, body.dart. You guys can see that in here. Now below this rounded input field, what I'll say, rounded we didn't see the segregation yet, so let's write it, round it, password field, there we go. Okay, now you'll just remove that, we will add it in a while. Write it n, comma, and take this down. Now let's provide the onChange event. In here we'll have and create that value, and remove that. In here curly braces, there we go, take this down, and in here we're gonna have that password controller. Okay, dot tags, and value in here. It's gonna simply just write it n first and a colon. It's gonna simply just assign the password whenever the user will enter it, and it's gonna be right inside that value, right on change, and then we just assign that password, which will be right in this value. We will assign it right to this password controller dot tags. Okay, so all just good. Now just press the Control S, and you guys will notice the password field. Okay, Control S, there we go. Okay, password with the icon and with the visibility on and off feature, as you guys can see, and all of that working. It's right inside this widget, rounded password field. We have already created that before, and I have explained this in detail, this one and also this one, all of the working. So I hope that you guys just don't get confused in that, and it's clear now. Now in here you can simply just enter your password, like I say this one, that's my password. For now, as you guys can see, the visibility is on, and you guys can see that in here the password. Now I'm gonna off it, and there we go, it's it right inside the dotted form. It's working totally fine. Okay, so we are done with the fields. As you guys can see, name, email, phone number, and also the password one, and it's working totally fine, and you guys can see that on the screen for sign in body. So basically this video is getting a little lengthy. We will just end this video right in here, and we will start working right in the body of sign up screen in the next video. So see ya.